Welcome to the jungle. We got what you need. Lot of fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it on? This girl on YouTube says what she always say. I know y'all know who she is. Is it on? Is it on? I love that. It's cute. All right, so you get props for that, Miss Madison. I think your name is. Anyway, so this Sunday at church, it came. I heard at church that Pat Robinson. Y'all know who Pat Robinson is? This old guy. He runs one of these Christian networks. He's got this show on there, long running show. I don't know how long they've been on, 30 or 40 years, something like that. Anyway, he said he had a vision of Donald Trump sitting at the right hand of God. Really, Donald Trump. It got me thinking. I said, well, perhaps people at church were wrong, but maybe they they didn't hear him right, because I don't listen to people like that. Obviously, I mean, I have no reason to listen to somebody like that. But sometimes things are so outrageous, you can't help it. So anyway, I saw the articles are running all over Facebook today that he indeed says he saw Donald Trump sitting at the right hand of God. Lord have mercy, help us all. Why would Satan be sitting at the right hand of God? He says he's the same one that says Mitt Romney was going to win the presidency twice. Don't you think he's a little late? So when these holy men, when they make these predictions and they are wrong, I mean, there's no other words to put it. They're just wrong about their predictions. Do they lose ground or anything? Or why is he still on the air? I mean, all these years. It's just the strangest damn thing, because is Romney the president? He didn't even get one term. But yet he saw it in the vision. God told him that. Listen, be careful when people tell you that God told them something. Now, I know, sure, God can speak to people. I mean, whatever is good is God to me. So yes, you can have premonition. You can have you can have epiphanies. You can have certain realizations, uh, and that way, sure. I'm a spiritual person. I believe that you can get good word from good. Let's call it the good for the minute. But when these preachers get up here telling you about God told them this and God told them that, and then next thing you know, you find out that they've been caught in the hotel room with 3 and 4 hoes. God didn't tell them about that. God didn't tell us about us supporting your wild and lascivious lifestyle either. But they love this Pat Robertson guy. I guess old people like him now. I think a lot of it is. I think a lot of the reason why people stay faithful to some of these old fools. I mean, obviously, this man is starting to get a little Alzheimer's or start. I mean, I'm not saying anything about Alzheimer's is a very real thing. But if he has it, just call it what it is. Don't call it a vision. He's already got the vision. What's the difference between a vision and schizophrenia? You hear voices. Are you sure that was God? I think people support these people for so long, and they believe what they say, and run their marriages by what this man has said for 30 years. They said they got to keep on believing what he says. So I guess there are still some people out there that are listening to Pat Robertson and taking him seriously, because, I mean, you do something for 30 years, just like people, when they've been tithing to the church, they've been giving to the church, to a pastor for 30 years. It's going to be very hard for them to say, okay, this man is nothing but a con man, and I have been wrong for my whole life, and I've given him a good part of my family income to this con man who's been, living large on our paychecks. So, in that way, I guess they've already. I don't know. What am I talking about? So anyway, so Pat Robinson saw Donald Trump. You know why I see Donald Trump? I don't even see him as a New Yorker, because New Yorkers tend to be sophisticated. For somebody who is, I mean, has had a life of wealth, he doesn't seem like a New Yorker to me. He seems more like a Las Vegas type of resident. The high end of Las Vegas. With the gilded furniture and all this kind of thing. I just don't see him as a New Yorker, not very sophisticated. And I've never seen people who are born with money, who have all this money, shouldn't be the issue, to be so flashy. What are you flashy about? It's yours. You act more like a nouveau riche person, somebody who just got some money. Wait, And every time you show you in the hotel, you got all this gilded furniture and these thrones and things, this flashy ass shit. And I'm not even gonna start with the hairdo. But since it's Donald Trump week, I'll be hearing his name all ringing through my head and all through my dreams and all through all of my media. Of course, I'm gonna have some comments about him. So it's pretty bad. So the convention started today. Donald Trump is in Ohio, and so many of his fellow Republicans are not showing up. That is so insulting. They won't show up for his convention. Yeah. This promises to be quite some week. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I guess the people who are anti-Trump, I mean, they got a real late start. If you ask me, he should have been stumped in the ground right from the very beginning. It's a little late to be trying to do that now. So I hope the rest of us got enough sense to realize that the time is now. We need to get out and vote because he can get so far along, and then we'll be sitting up here on election day in November wondering what the hell happened. Obviously, it could happen. I mean, look at this. Look at this. He's in Ohio. So what am I rambling about? Oh, I just came here and talk for a little bit. I had to get away from my television. They done Republicans done taken over my television, so I just can't get into a lot of the. I mean, I watch the news, and so it's been hijacked. So thought I'd come in there and say that. I just think it's so cute about this dude, Pat Robertson, though. Beware when people start telling you they heard from God. That's where I was going with this. Okay. When I could hear a preacher, somebody talking to me from a pulpit, they start losing points the moment they start telling me about what God told them last night. Because I just can't imagine that God is coming and sitting in your bed and conversing with you every week in time for you to have a sermon by Sunday. So if you're putting yourself up as a person who God is speaking to personally, and you have a message for the rest of us, the peons, beware, people. First of all, you have a little respect for your congregation, for us, because we're supposed to believe this stuff, and there are people who are going to believe it, so that's why they always do it. Just like there are going to always be people who are going to tithe. That's that's the way they express their faith by action, and so they're going to be preaching to them. So I have to understand. I have to understand that, but. Don't go on these people. I just saw an interview. I had to come on here and do my research about Pat Robertson because that's all that I'm going to encounter in any of my media. But he was, and they were talking to Benny Hinn. Now Benny Hinn, what was he recently caught in? What European country was it with Paula White? Lord God. Uh, okay, so he come about his wife. He called his wife, and she told him that he's divorced. But she didn't tell him. And he has to go make his YouTube video about there was no infidelity. Oh no, I never cheated. I never cheated. Just he's one of them ones that have people walking across the stage and all of a sudden drop their canes and their wheelchairs and all that stuff on the stage, and they just deliver. Then he goes to the next, flies to the next country and pick up a few million there, and then he goes to some African country where people are desperate. So in order to go to them countries where people are desperately poor, to walk out of there with 50, 60, 70 million dollars, it tells you something about the character of this person who is doing this type of ministry. So I won't be getting any ministry from Benny Hinn either, him or Pat Robinson. All right, so I guess I'll check in with you guys in a couple of days, whatever, after the Republicans give me something to talk about. Sorry about what happened in Baton Rouge. Sorry for the families of those policemen. Violence. Violence gets nothing. In a couple of weeks, we go on to another story, and something else will be to happen horrible. It gets nothing. No points proven. No nothing. And now finally CNN starting to realize that by spreading these people's name around so much, it gives them their 15 minutes of fame, even though that's what they're doing it for. So they don't even try to report too much on the person, which they shouldn't. So nothing's accomplished. You're not gonna get any. What, killing 3 police officers? What is that gonna do for anybody? So it's pretty horrible. I hope this is over. It stops now. This thing, and I'm on both sides of it, because they say, well, Black Lives Matter. They're stirring up all this hatred of police officers and things. But I mean, are they lying? Are they lying? They're just telling the truth. So they're all teaming up on Black Lives Matter. I mean, from what I can see, they're peaceful protesters. They're just bringing to the forefront what has been happening. And it's always been happening. The only thing changed was that people started getting cell phones and body. Occasionally, when the cameras don't fall off the bodies, body cameras, and there's cameras all over the buildings, and there's cameras all over the place. This shit was always happening. You know, we're getting hip to it now because it can be recorded. People don't believe anything unless they actually see it. So I don't know where it's going. I hope. I just hope something good uh, comes out of this movement. Black Lives. I haven't personally, got overly involved. I haven't marched and things like that. I used to be a criminal, years. I was a criminal for years, and spent a lot of time in the pen. So I knew decent cops. I mean, they were just people. But sometimes they have to act super tough and hard on the street, because you have to have the perception that they're the ones in charge. But there's decent cops. I'm not going to hate all cops, because some are rotten. There are rotten cops too. I've been robbed by cops many times. I was selling drugs. Take the drugs and let me go. So they're just people. We need to stop hurting each other, stop killing each other. Okay, so I'll check back in a couple of days about this. What's going on with this Republicans? I'm sure they're gonna give me something juicy. That's the only way I read it. I watch it, because I just know they're gonna give me something juicy to talk about, because there's just so much, you know. But that Pot Robinson, that child, you, Pat, Pat, like a child saying that, but they'll be sweet potato pies. Patty, 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 Patty. Stop it. You ain't see no vision of Donald Trump sitting on that right hand. Shit. A pile of money. That's about it. Okay, so we'll see if we post this. Sometimes I look at this stuff, and you'd be surprised how many I delete, but maybe it'll make it through, maybe it won't. Okay, check in with you later.